popping on. What is today's video going to be all about? It's going to be a quickie because I actually have a call in 19 minutes. And it's going to actually acknowledge some of, not the only reasons, but some of the reasons I decided to quit the business coaching industry after mentoring in it full time for 6 years. I just celebrated my 6-year anniversary, March 31st. And if you're a private client watching this and you're actually working with me for business coaching, please know I love and I adore you and I love working with you. And these reasons I'm about to share that inspired me to make the shift back to more the realm of transformational mentoring. They definitely have nothing to do with you, my awesome clients, only in the event you happen to be watching this. So I decided to limit today's share to 3 reasons I felt I no longer resonated with the business coaching collective. And I suspect that a lot of you out there, whether you are a business coach or you've just noticed the marketing and maybe something's arisen in your own body that feels like, this kind of feels icky and this doesn't really resonate. And is this even about self-development? And what's happening to this industry? Because those were all of my feelings about it that felt incongruent and left me feeling like I don't want to actually be part of it. I don't want to be part of something that is taking a nosedive. And yes, you can lead by example and still stay in your own lane. All of that is true. But when you observe what tactics are working and attracting the most people and know that that does not resonate with you at all, you have to make a choice. Do you want to stay as part of that web or do you want to go out and do your own thing? So where I'm going to go with this is sharing 3 things that really stand out. And one of the things, the first thing I'm going to share is this obsession with intertwining one's self-worth with the level they charge and using manipulative marketing to people who are naive to say, charge your worth and don't charge so little, and making this impression that you should feel shame, guilty, or bad if you charge what you feel comfortable charging. There's one thing in stretching your client to increase their prices to be more reflective of what they should actually be for whatever they're offering. But there's another thing of there's a level that it could actually just be inappropriate or not the right time, or someone doesn't have enough experience or isn't offering enough in the package to charge something enormous. But that part of the equation has been forgotten. Rather than looking at the pricing being connected to what is actually being provided, the quality of service and the amount of service, there's been this weird disconnect that it's only reflective of what you as a person view yourself. My self-worth equals, and then you pick a number. No, that is hocus pocus BS. Because what's funny is often the more expensive you go with a coach, and I'm not saying this is the case for everyone, and some of my friends out there who are business coaches, I know you ladies operate from integrity, so this isn't everyone, but for the most part, the higher the price you go with hiring a coach, the less coaching you will receive, the less calls, the shorter the calls. In some cases, you don't even get a call. The less Voxer, the list goes on and on. So let's just kind of put this in perspective. Think about any other profession, any other industry that thinks that how much they charge their service is indicative of their self-worth. So they feel this pressure. I better keep raising it because I keep thinking I keep loving myself more. I keep thinking I'm more worthy. So that means I should increase my prices. Well, what if a dentist did that? What if a school teacher decided, well, I've been a school teacher for 5 years, I better increase my rates? What if a school teacher decided, well, I now think I'm even more worthy, so I'm going to offer less teaching to my students. I'm going to make my classes shorter and shorter and shorter, and I'll actually mark homework less frequently. I'll get back to parents less often. I'll kind of like slack on my job duties. Imagine a teacher took that approach. Imagine a teacher took that narcissistic approach to your child. Imagine a dentist said, well, I've been filling cavities for 5 years. At this point in time, I'm going to raise my rates 500% because that's my self-worth. No, you can't intertwine one's self-worth to the amount you charge for a service. That's the one reason I decided I wanted out of that industry. The second reason is more and more over time, and this wasn't so much the case in 2017 when I started out. It wasn't even so much the case in 2018, but more and more as the years have gone by, this element of royalty to peasant has become apparent. So you can see it. It's like very noticeable in the industry, like interwebs, where someone ascends to this level of popularity and extremely high prices, and again, giving less and less in their package at these higher and higher rates. And almost the people underneath them looking at them as like, oh, but like I'm graced to even be in your presence, so I appreciate if I can get, a 15-minute call versus, let's say another coach, it would have been like an hour call, or like my private clients, they're 2-hour calls. But it's like this weird dynamic that started developing. And part of this is to do with the marketing. So popular business coaching marketing, the business coaching marketing that enrolls the most people who are naive and susceptible to this style of marketing, which is actually more the collective. It is this style. It's nothing to do with educating about your business expertise. It's nothing to do with education that would actually help someone move their business forward. It's nothing like that. It's purely, this is how much money I made. Here's my offer. Would you like it? And you see hundreds and thousands of women in this dynamic royalty peasant. Yes, me, I would. Yes, I'm interested. How many of those women end up with a full-fledged successful financial business? 0.0001%. The industry success rate is less than 1%. Every 100 women who enter a business program, 99 will not have success. Think about that. But what is so alluring to these marketing tactics of, I made X amount of dollars in X amount of time, as soon as you hear someone say that phrase, really study the nuts and bolts of what comes with the package. How many video calls, how much conversation on Voxer, what are the modules that you're going to learn? What are you actually going to be taught that you're actually going to implement? What's the strategy you're going to apply? What are all the tangibles? And guess what? Most women who buy those programs don't look into that. They get allured by the vacation and not the process to get to the vacation. They get allured by, oh, well, this woman made $4 million in 4 seconds, so I'm going to go into debt, max out my credit cards, and work with her. And you know how many of these women I have then worked with who have so much debt and have invested so much and have learned nothing. It's the collective of the entire industry that's in that situation. I've been in the industry 6 years. I see it. It is the norm, okay? Part of this marketing tactic is also glorifying and promoting, well, I have so much self-worth that I don't even do discovery calls. My price is $110,000, and that's just the way it is because I'm worth it. And if you need a discovery call, you don't deserve me because you should know with 100% certainty if you're going to take out a $100K business loan or remortgage your house or take money out of your children's education fund. You should just know without ever speaking to me whether or not that's a good decision. That is unhealthy. I'm going to go so far to say that is deeply manipulative to make someone feel like shame or like I should just take the plunge without meeting this person. This is a big decision. If you're going to invest tens upon tens of thousands of dollars, or even let's say $10,000, you deserve to speak with someone and actually check in with your wise guide inside. Is this the right fit? But the more expensive you go, the less that is offered. That's another reason I'm so turned off this industry, because that is manipulative. Another thing is that the higher you go, or the more you go down the rabbit hole with this industry of these patterns, of these traits, as I mentioned earlier, the less you actually provide your clients, because there's this element of superiority. Well, I'm at this level, or I make this much, so I now should offer less. So I can think of so many coaches who feel I don't deserve, or I shouldn't have to do a video call anymore. So now I'm just going to do audio calls. Okay, if your clients don't mind that, so be it. But then it moves, but then the goalpost is moved. So the next shift is, oh, I don't like having to do real-time calls. Now I only do like a voice memo, and I'll reply to you when I feel like it. Like, that is so ridiculous. Why would you want to offer business consulting, business coaching, if the very idea of having to be there and be present and hold space with someone presently and like talk about the actual things was so bothersome to you? You can see the level of inflated ego with that is appalling, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, right? And I'm going to give you an example of this. I worked with a woman last year, and I'll be transparent with you. Her package was, I think, about $8,000 for what she particularly worked with me for. And it was a very robust business consulting program, a high level of strategy, building out all the specifics of a sales funnel, building out what her signature program would be, her marketing, her branding, her social media presence, like every facet of business coaching was done with her. She, before working with me, spent $20,000 on a very globally famous coach, and got, it was either 4 or 6 calls that were only 15 minutes long each. With me, we were up, I think, around the 30 or 40 hour mark of calls, because again, they were 2-hour calls and there was so much to cover. And I asked her, like, what did you do on these calls? Like these quick 15 minutes calls, did you ever learn anything? She's like, well, no. I'm like, did you ever learn strategy? No. Did you like have a shift in your business? Did you make more money? No. It's like, and she said to me, she's like, well, but I don't regret it. It was really just for the experience. I was like, you went into a $20,000 loan just for the experience of being in proximity to a woman who's a famous online coach. You didn't make money from it. You didn't learn anything from it. She taught you no strategy. You had kind of like a bit of a mindset kick in the pants for 15 minutes and nothing changed, and there's no regret, you know? And so this would be equivalent to someone being like, oh, there's a celebrity. Like, let's say someone is like, I want to meet a Tom Cruise. And they're like, oh, you can have a handful of 15-minute calls with Tom Cruise. You just have to give him $20K. Okay. Some people are willing to do that. And there's a lot of people in this business industry collective who are in that dynamic. Okay. So where I'm going with this, those were the 2 reasons I didn't want to be part of that industry anymore. And the third is that, to put a positive spin on it, I just had a deep, genuine desire to work in the realm of transformation. So if you are tuning in on the replay and you're just meeting me, I'm 6 years sober next month. I am a survivor to thriver of abuse. I have built a skincare line. I've done energy healing, transformational courses. I've really done a 180 in my life in a variety of ways. But all of these things you wouldn't think could have been available or accessible to me given how difficult previous chapters have been. And so where my passion lies right now is really supporting people know that they can use any pain or difficulty or challenge, any setback actually as their rocket fuel to transcend circumstances and align on an even higher timeline than before, to help people believe that their past doesn't define them or indicate a limitation that's going to be in their future, that they get to decide right here and now that they can manifest above and beyond any place they've been before. So that's where my passion lies, is really supporting people become the hero or the heroine of their own life, to feel that they actually feel excited about the life they're living and proud of the choices they're making, so that they can look back on their deathbed and say, fuck yes, that was a good life, right? So if you've seen some of my posts as of lately, I'm really talking a lot about my sobriety journey, bringing education about it, alcohol addiction awareness, speaking to people who want to quit, who want to stay sober, and even just the sober curious community. So if that's you, let me know. I'm thinking of doing a May sobriety challenge, and I'm also hosting a live event next month on how to shift and change one's relationship with alcohol so that you actually don't have cravings to use it, and you can feel more freedom and basically just feel more happiness and vitality. Separate from that focus, it's again working with people who are in that rising of the phoenix part of life, right? Using any setback as a reason for an up level. So in any case, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It got a little spicy, but I feel like I needed to acknowledge and bring light to why I up and left an industry that I was part of for a long time, what no longer felt incongruent, and hopefully educate the naive on some of these marketing tactics that don't equal success for the participants who enter those programs. Because again, it's a 99% failure rate for those entering the coaching industry, meaning 1 out of 100 people will become a full-time, financially making money regularly coach, and the other 99 won't. So it's like buyer beware when you're seeing these marketing tactics. Okay, so in any case, I'm glad to be back on with you guys. I love you, and I'll talk to you later.